Hello there. Today we're going to be learning about the key concepts in the criminal justice system and bunch of other shit in relation to that. This is point 2 of the study design. So here we go. All right, so if you see the study design here, you can see that there are 4 key concepts that we need to know. The first one is distinguish between the summary and indictable offences. The second one is burden of proof. The third one is standard of proof. And the last one is presumption of innocence. Now, if you've done year 11, these will be quite familiar to you. So this video is really just a recap of those. You do need to be able to explain each one in a few sentences or more. And with summary and indictable offences, you need to be able to talk about differences. Okay, so let's talk about the first one, summary and indictable offence. So when we're talking about distinguish, what we're talking about is what is the difference between a summary offence and an indictable offence? What's different about them? So a summary offence is defined as a minor crime or a minor criminal offence. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff that you guys might do: graffiti, disorderly conduct, drinking offences, things like that. So they're relatively minor crimes. They are heard in the magistrate's court. Now, take your minds back. We had the court hierarchy, and at the bottom of the court hierarchy, we have what is known as the magistrate's court. Okay, and above that, county court, Supreme Court of Appeal, and High Court. Okay, so a hearing of a summary offence occurs in the magistrate's court and is presided over by a magistrate. Okay, there is no jury in a summary offence. This is because they're relatively minor crimes, and also because they tend to be, quite short trials or short hearings. A day, a couple of days, things like that. Okay, so the alternative is an indictable offence. Okay, these are more serious crimes. They're heard in either the Supreme Court or the county court, so above the magistrate's court, county court, and then Supreme Court. These serious crimes might include manslaughter, murder, robbery, armed robbery. And you will get a jury for an indictable offence in Victoria, and all of these crimes are written in the Crimes Act. Okay, so the big major differences between it is the nature of the offence, what court it's held in, whether or not there's a jury, and what are some of the types of examples that you can hear. So you need to be able to talk about all of those things in order to distinguish the differences. Okay, the next key concept is the burden of proof. And the way I like to remember this is shoulders of a person. Okay, burden on someone's shoulders or something that's heavy. So a burden of proof is the obligation of a party to prove the facts of the case. So who must prove that the accused is guilty beyond reasonable doubt? This is usually the person who initiates the claim, and in a criminal case, we call this person the prosecution, which is usually the lawyer representing the state. Okay, so it is the party who is involved in proving the facts of the case, which is why I like to think of shoulders, because you think about who has the burden. This is different from the standard of proof. The standard of proof is the degree or extent in which a case must be proved by the court. Okay, so how much can you convince the judge or the jury for an indictable offence that the accused is guilty for a crime? So how much do you need to convince them? In a criminal case, the standard of proof is known as beyond reasonable doubt. So there should be almost no doubt in a jury mind. They must be completely convinced that a person is guilty. If a jury member has any type of doubt that's fairly reasonable, then they cannot convict someone of a crime. Okay, so it's quite a high level of proof. You must really convince the jury, based on the facts of the case, based on the evidence of the case, that the accused has committed the crime. The last key concept is the presumption of innocence. Okay, this is a fairly straightforward one. It is currently enshrined in the Charter of Human Rights Act, Victoria, 2006. All right. and it states that a person must be presumed innocent until proven guilty. Okay, so the accused does not have to prove their innocence, they're already presumed innocence. Rather, the prosecution must use all the evidence to prove that that person is guilty. So a person accused of a crime must be presumed innocent. This helps protect the accused because it ensures that they know what they're charged against, and any type of evidence that is going to be used against them. It provides the accused a right to have a defense in court, and it ensures that they are not disadvantaged. Okay, so we're assuming that the accused is innocent until proven guilty in order to ensure that they have a fair trial. Okay, and that is it. Go off and study.